All right. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? I see Ian's out there. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by, Ian. Hope this is a better time for you than the other show. You guys hear me okay? Everything okay? Little thing's not moving over here. I'm using the YouTube stream software stuff again instead of my usual for this show because I wanted them to be a little bit different. Sounds perfect. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for telling me. But thank you. Welcome back. This is the second time trying to do a little something different, doing a Saturday live stream where I just talk 118-375, open up some stuff. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, let me know. I can pull up a screen. We can look at anything you guys want to look at. But this is mostly just to open up stuff because I've got too much and I've got a nice little pile over here, mostly Star Wars, mostly vintage collection, because that is my favorite line to collect. But there is a Warhammer figure in here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Too much toys does not compute. Yeah, did you see my my tub dive video yet, Ian? I do have a part two that I'm going to be publishing here either tomorrow or Monday. But I've got too much. I've got too much. That was just, we still have a lot of tubs to dive. We still have a lot of tubs to go through. But yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I need to open a lot of stuff. I've been saving that one, looking forward to it. Okay, it's long. And I'm going to apologize now. The last 10 minutes of it, the audio, I'm not sure what happened if I got too far away from the microphone. So the audio at the end of the video is not as good as in the beginning. So I made sure this next one that comes out that the audio was better and I got closer to the microphone. But I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's a messy garage. A lot of figures in there, though. The bin that I open at the end, I think because you're a big Star Wars fan, I think you can appreciate some of the pulls in that bin. There were some really, really good figures. Let me move this screen over here. There we go. So at least now I can look at the camera. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Yeah, that one's long though. That one's long. It's a good 30 minutes. This next one is not quite as long. It's about 15 minutes. Because in this first one, I kind of show you the whole garage. In the next one, it's just, let's pop open a bin. Let's see what's in there. A couple of TV sounds as well, which is cool. Which two? What couple TVC? I'm maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. I have not watched. I saw the Star Wars TVC guys on YouTube. It looked like they interviewed Mr. Stevie, a new Padme and a Shock T. Okay, I'm wondering, did they announce it in that live stream that they did with the SWTVC guys? Because I haven't watched it yet. I saw it was about an hour long. I just didn't have an hour to sit down and watch. But that sounds great. It's got to be the Geonosian Padme, right? I'm guessing. I don't know. The Geonosian Arena battle Padme. I hope it is. Let's see. There was a couple things I wanted to talk about. Yes, both Attack of the Clones labeled. Oh, good. Cool. In the last Saturday live stream that I did, I opened up an Ahsoka and an HK droid that I said I was going to try to customize, and I did. So I'm happy to report here 2 weeks later that I finished the custom. I did have a little bit of help from Bjorn. I shot a couple ideas off of him. He gave me some advice that worked perfectly. But I ended up taking that HK droid and that Ahsoka, and I basically pop and swapped. It wasn't a perfect fit, but it turned out just like I wanted, just like I had hoped. The only thing I had to do, because the ball joints aren't at the waist, they're not exactly compatible, but Bjorn suggested I warm up the HK droid because he was the port and the plug was on the Ahsoka side. And once I warmed that up, it popped right in, and it fits perfect. It turns, it moves, it's on solid. The only thing I had to actually like kind of modify was this like like her belt, her sort of garment. It has some on the sides. It has like a ridge. It's not perfectly flat, so I had to clip off just like the sliver on two sides of that belt to get it to sit. Whoops! I dropped the weapon. Flush. So you can see it came out pretty good. So pretty good kit bash, easy custom. I'm not a big. I have a Dremel. I have paint, but I try not to use them too often. This is one of the only ones. I prefer a kit bash custom, so this one came out pretty good. So I'm happy to report that one went as planned. They don't always do that, but I would suggest this if you're not big into customizing or it's hard for you to do like it is for me. This is one I think that you could do. If I could do it, you could do it. Yo, Tech 489, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it came out pretty good. So I'm happy to report that worked. The other thing I did on that Saturday stream too was I opened up a Boss Fight Studio tack pack for the horse. Kit bashing is my current approach. Yeah, I prefer that. I've done more, I've painted and I've dremeled, and but that was the level: hot water, pop and swap, and I just used little clippers to kind of peel the edge off of that belt. Luis, welcome, Luis. Thank you for stopping by. I do a lot of kit bashing. Yeah, it's the way to go. If you get more, I'm not as advanced as Bjorn and some of the other guys that do stop in here. Pirates, Timbo, a lot of you guys, you guys are both, Ian, you probably do more than I do. So that was right about the level that I didn't want to get frustrated, and it got done in one night. Took about an hour, less probably, really, and turned out good. So he's going to be like the leader, Morgan Elsbeth's #1 HK, because all the other ones, I customized a couple of the other ones too with paint or like acrylic pen, but because he's got the lower body that's different, I think I have with him, I think I have 6 or 7 HK droids, the 2 different versions, the all red one, this one, and that's kind of my squad, my little army. She Elsbeth leads my HK sort of squad in my world, my little world that's right here. But this, I don't know if you were here. I thought that I had dropped a piece under the table when I opened this, and I couldn't get the saddle to stay on. And I don't know if this ever happens to you guys. The piece, the under piece here, it actually just folded under, and I just didn't see it. So of course, once the stream was over and the more I looked at it, not under the pressure of these bright lights, which not really, the lights aren't even on, but you know that term, under the being watched by the camera, I was like, oh, it's right there. And then I put it on and it fit perfect. It was just me. I'm dumb. I will be doing some painting, particularly when dealing with some Mandos, definitely on Astromechs, considering an on-sale R2 figure would be the base. Yeah, that's a good point. I have a lot of R2s. That would be one I might try too. That's a good point. Thanks for that idea. But that fit perfect, and it looks great. Went on perfect, no problem. It was just me. That strap right there just had folded under, so you learn, But I love these horses. I still need a couple more saddles for all of the horses. I think I still have 3 more horses, 2 or 3 more horses that don't have saddles. I did end up gluing the saddle packs, these part onto the main saddle, because they didn't really fit on very well. It kept falling off, so I did glue that on, but that was pretty much it. Turned out perfect. So I did get that done. So I wanted to open some stuff. I'll probably start with this one. I've got a Thai bomber down here that needs a pilot. So I dug into my doubles and triples boxes, which are in that video. If you watch it, the tub dive video, I dug through the top. I found this one pretty quickly. So this guy is going to be my new pilot for that Thai bomber right there. So I'm going to open him up. In that same box, I found this. I should have a few more of them. Legacy Collection AT-AT driver. I have two AT-ATs under here, and one is fully crewed. I don't like swivel arms, and both of these AT-ATs came with drivers that had swivel arms. So I went out and bought Legacy Collection AT-AT drivers that have the correct ball jointed arms. I think this is the best right now, as of today. This is the best AT-AT driver. I know some people like the swivel arm one because the helmet's more accurate or whatever, that they like that helmet better. For me, articulation's kind of king. So this one has the best articulation. So this is the one I use. This one's pretty expensive too now. But there was a book. I can't remember what it's called. It is such a good design. Yeah, it is. I can't remember what the book's called, but it has all of the real military numbers and things for all of the Empire. How many troopers are in a squad? How many are in a company? How many drivers in the AT-AT? And it said that there was 4. There's a pilot, a co-pilot, and then in the back there's 2 deck officers or 2 deck operators. So I went out and bought 8 of these, and I opened 5 of them. The other 3 I think are in that bin. I found this one, so I'm going to open up this one and put him in there. So a pilot, a co-pilot, and then in the back of the AT-AT there's 2 more deck operators or deck officers. So I'm going to open this guy, put him in there. Hopefully I'll find the other ones. I didn't want to dig. If you saw my tub dive video, the garage is a mess, so I'm not at the luxury of just opening something up and start pulling everything out because I don't have a lot of space and it's already a mess. So everything's kind of already grouped. So I popped one open. I saw these guys in there. I thought that's perfect because I need them right now. And then in that last one too, I found this in there. I did build an army of the new vintage collection snow troopers, and I do have on pre-order the new commander, the new snow trooper commander. I don't know. I feel like there's no reason to keep this mint on card any longer, so I'm going to open him and throw him into the army vintage collection troopers I already have. One has better helmet, one has better articulation. Sounds like a kit bagger speaking. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, these were even when I got these, and these were several years ago. They were still expensive. I think they're even more expensive now. This version. I think these are about $25 a piece. I think, give or take, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But articulation's king, and this helmet isn't so off to me that it calls to spend another $10 or more. But I know some people, accuracy, like you said, is for some people. I'm trying to think. I think only one Kenobi, only one. He did a video on the different versions of this, and he chose the one with the swivel arms. I think is his favorite because it had the better helmet. But in my mind, I hate those swivel arms. They always pop off. I hate them. I wish they would have never invented those. They're useless to me. It's either it's straight or it's at 90 degrees. Like there's no in between, and there's no stretch. But the helmet is better. But I don't know if it's worth it to me to buy. I would want 8 of them, to change all 8 of the helmets. So not going to happen for me. This is the one. And it even comes with the droid part too, which I have built. I have built that droid out. This is the other HK50. I have this one in blue, and I think I might have the red one. Is it red? I think it's red. But it's a really good figure. I know they can't do this really probably for vintage collection, but the Build-A-Figure stuff was a lot of fun. I don't know. Did you guys build out some of those figures when they were doing those? But anyways, I'm going to open this guy too, throw him in the army, and then got a couple of these. Well, let me show you the Warhammer one first. Got this. I think I showed this in my last haul. I did get one more of these guys. Oh, Hive Fleet Leviathan. This will bring my. I have my fleet, my squad of them. It's on the top of this cabinet here. I have 5. One big guy, 2 mediums, and 2 small. So it's going to make 6. So I'm going to open up this guy. Don't think I'm going to do a video on him. That's why one of the reasons I thought, I'd open it now here. You guys, I don't know if you guys have any of these. These are a lot of fun. I've been scouring AliExpress. I got this for like $17. They're usually like almost 30. Every now and then they go on sale on AliExpress. Someone will have some, and it'll be about $17, $15, $17. And so that's when I pull the trigger and I grab them. But that's how I picked up that one. Let's see, back to the Star Wars stuff. Got a small. There it is. I got a small group of. I have more of these, but these are the 3 that I found in that box. I can open up some of these battle droids. I army built the battle droids for my son, and he kind of got out of it, like collecting with me. So I never opened these. I did recently buy the 4-pack from Hasbro Pulse for him, and he did open that, and he liked it. They're in his room, but I thought I would add to it because I saw these in there. So I had done some shots, but I never posted them because I wasn't happy with the new Count Dooku, the Vintage Collection Count Dooku, surrounded by a squad of these guys. Maybe I'll try it again with a few more, make it look a little bit like a bigger group. And then I thought I'd also open a couple more of these guys. I have several of these. Love this figure. Love the blast shield or the energy shield. Heavy assault stormtrooper. They need to re-release them and name Hill Clanker. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like the B1. That was his favorite. That was his favorite droid, is actually the B1. That's why I got a whole bunch of them for him. And then I army built this one. At the time when this was out, this was pretty much, in my opinion, the easiest and best stormtrooper you could get, whatever year this was. Let's see, year 2020. And this one was pretty readily available. To get the one that didn't have Luke underneath it or Han underneath it was pretty expensive and hard to find. But these I could find everywhere. So I army built these as my stormtroopers. So I have a lot of these, and I keep finding them. Forgot how many I had, but my army is built up mostly of the new ones. This buck and these ones. A couple of them are Han's, a couple of them are Luke's. But I thought I'd open those too. So a lot of army builders here. But that is that. I did want to do one thing too. Was I did a video. I just did my last video. I did was on this guy here. This is Acid Rain Kamo Umaguru. I can't say it. I couldn't say it in the video either. Stormtroopers are always an issue to get hold of, it seems. Yeah. And I was, always trying to army build, and that one was just available. That one, I'd go to Target, there'd be 2 or 3 of them, so I'd grab them. I'd go to Walmart, there'd be 1 or 2 of them there, I'd grab them. But the one without Luke or Han, was more than cost, that people were scalping them and stuff. And it's basically the same buck in 2020 at that time. It was the same buck with just a different head. And so to me, I have a whole bunch of these guys are Luke and Hans, but they have their helmets on, so you can't tell. It doesn't matter. But they do seem to go very fast. They do. And that was my way around it, because I have been replacing all of the Stormies. Um, I was at that time with those, all the Power of the Force 2, the Power of the Jedi, and all those other Stormies, because like I said, at that time, 2020, that was the best buck for a Stormtrooper. They've now perfected it, right? It's the new one is even rocker ankles, better hips, everything about it. It's better. Um, but yeah, there never seems to be enough. But I did a video on this guy, and his little antenna is in there. I'm going to glue that antenna in. So I thought I would talk about this. When I glue stuff, I don't glue stuff very often. I only will do something like this that I'm afraid I'm going to lose. I use this. I used to buy the tubes, but they kind of leak. They're kind of hard to control. I found that for me, this with this tip and being able to squeeze this to get the glue to come out, this is the cleanest, easiest system when putting together 118. Maybe it doesn't matter if you're doing 112 scale or 1/6 or something, but for me, this has always been the easiest one. And I just thought I would share that with you guys. You probably already know this if you're doing customs and things, but it's worth it to just spend a few dollars more to get this than those tubes. I have a whole bunch of those tubes in the garage. Still use them for bigger things, like when I do buildings, when I want to put big pieces of wood or something together. But when it's a real small thing where I just need a dab, I just need a teeny bit of super glue, this is what I get. This is what I use. I think they're about $5. I've got Gorilla Glue on my shopping list currently. Cool. Yeah, this is, I have the bigger tubes of Gorilla Glue too, like with wood ones and stuff. I like Gorilla Glue, but for this type of stuff or like customs, this is the one I like. So I'm going to just try to put a drop. It only takes, this piece is so small. That's it. Just the teeniest, tiniest drop. I'm going to take the helmet off. Boom, done. And it dries really fast. So I just thought I would share that with you guys. You guys probably know that. Maybe someone's new here. I don't know. I don't have a lot of knowledge, but what I have, I will share. Whatever you want to know, I will tell you. Any discount, any little mod that will save you time and looks good, or and I'm always open to receiving any information that you guys might have, because that's how I operate. No secrets here. We're transparent. Everything I have, I want you to have if you want it. I hate collectors that they don't want to tell you where they got something or how much they paid, or I hate that kind of stuff, or how they glued something. And I trial and errored until I got to that and thought, this is the one. No more tubes, no more messy, covering everything because it just leaks everywhere. I thought that's the one. Never had a forum or a way to share it till today, though. But yeah, it just takes the smallest drop. It's in there. It's all done. Now I will not lose that piece. So let's get this open. I'm going to open this guy. This guy, he does the job, right? He does the job. He'll sit in the TIE Interceptor, the TIE Fighter, TIE Bomber. He'll sit in it. But it would be nice to get one with the new lower body, I will admit. But this is the best we have right now, so this is what we're going to do. I got a bunch of beater Force Link figures to practice my painting on before I risk it on a TVC. That's a good that's a good idea. Yeah, I've thought about this. I think I have it over here somewhere in my book collection. When I first tried to start customizing, like in 2000, before the internet like was really what it is, there was a magazine, like not Star Wars Insider, but there was an actual Star Wars action figure magazine that came from Hasbro, and there was a guy in it, and I saved that magazine because of it. And he was doing customs back then, and I, it was just a short article, and I read it, so I tried to do some custom back then, before knowing that you have to seal your paint and what kind of paint to use. Because this article, it didn't go into the minutia of it. It just kind of showed him doing it. And I ruined so many Power of the Force 2 figures. Um, in particular, I remember, I think I did at least two, and I ended up throwing them away. Bespin Luke's, I was trying to paint black, and the black was so sticky. Every piece of hair, every piece of lint caught on it. I had to throw them away because they were just making a mess. The paint would never dry because I didn't use the right paint. I didn't seal it. It was so hard back then to do stuff like that. For someone like me who's not very artsy, very crafty, before the internet, before you can just go, how do you do that? Oh, there it is. There's 20, 30 different responses. I literally had one magazine that I had that showed how to do it. And, but it wasn't step by step, it wasn't even like, it was just an article about a guy that did it. And he didn't go in and say, oh, I only use this kind of paint, and then you need to seal it, and on the joints do this, and make sure that the figure's washed and clean and soaked because of all that. They didn't say any of that back then. And those Power of the Force 2 things, you couldn't really pop and swap that much because of how they were constructed. So it was a mess, man. I lost a lot of figures trying to figure it out. And maybe that's kind of jaded me in some ways on why I don't customize as much as I probably could. I have enough stuff too, but I lost so many figures in the past. Now I kind of don't want to go through the loss again. But that's just an anecdotal story, I guys. You guys probably all have same idea or story. But yeah, we definitely can use an update on this guy. With some new hips. He does have a nice helmet. And his upper body, I think his upper body's good. It's fine. It's fine for what we need to do. Let's see, what face is under there? It's clone face. I think that's a clone face, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the clone face. I'm not sure he should be a clone, though. What do you think? I don't think he should be a clone. Maybe? I don't know. By the time they had TIE fighters, did they still have clones then? I don't think so. I'm not. Someone correct me. Ian, you probably know. Helmet's nice, though. Helmet's nice. Workable holster. I like the gloss black. I always like the glossy black of these guys. See if I can get the gun in there. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Whoa. Down goes Fraser. Okay. All right, so let's get this guy in here. One of the things I've noticed, I have a TIE Interceptor that I bought a couple years ago, many years ago. And it was in a figure and vehicle lot off of eBay. And it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's like original trilogy or like 30th anniversary. And it's perfect. The only thing that's missing is it's missing the ejection seat. So I've never had a seat for it. I believe this is the same exact seat, though. I constantly, and I did it today before the show, I looked on eBay. I could never find this one piece on eBay. I need one, though. I do have access at work to a 3D printer, but this thing needs to be like scanned, or I need a file, right? I forgot what those files are called, in order to print one of these. But if anybody has an extra one of these or knows where I can get an extra one of these, please let me know. If you're watching this video on the replay or whatever, let me know. I've been trying to get one for a couple of years because you can't really use the interceptor because the figure just rattles around inside of it like a rock in a soda can or something because there's no seat. Yep, ties were around almost immediately after the fall of the Republic, so some clones would have been pilots, if briefly. All right, well, that must be who this guy is then. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because this card is that... I ripped it. It says Return of the Jedi on it, though. But that picture looks more like Empire or... Yeah. Huh. I don't think the figure matches the card. If that what you're saying, and I believe you. You're probably right. Let's get this guy in here, though. Oh, there we go. Perfect fit. Just like it should. Perfect fit. And that's the beauty, right, with Star Wars vehicles. This is why I don't really ever... I'll get rid of old figures with bad articulation, but I typically never get rid of vehicles. The modern figures fit better in the old stuff, or just the same than the figures that actually of this time period. Because this is, I think when I opened this, right, it was 2010. This TIE guy, I think he's 2020, so he's 10 years later, but he still fits perfect. The scale's still right. You can't beat that. You know, you can't beat that. That's why old Star Wars vehicles, I think they still have, they keep value. You know, they keep value because you can use your modern figures with them. You know, can't use a classified figure with an old G.I. Joe vehicle. But there's something, you know, satisfying about that. All right, so let's get this guy in there. He does kind of have to have his hands like this to fit in there, and his feet need to get under the console. There we go. We're in. That was easy, man. There we go. Perfect fit. Close the hatch. There we go, man. Something really satisfying about that. Got the TIE fighter pilot in the TIE bomber. All set. That was years in the making. Years in the making. Very cool. Very cool. This is a great little vehicle. I guess it's not little, but it's a great vehicle. Right. Let's set it down over here, though, to the side. Let's check on this. I bet it's dry now. Yep. Feels like it is. Boom. Done. All done. Glued in. Never have to worry about that again. Set him up over here. These other guys. All right. They've captured some prisoners over here. That's what that little scene is. They got a couple of prisoners they found, you know, roaming around the base. All right, so we got that done. Let's get this guy open. Again, I've had this guy way too long. Yeah, you know, I always like these card backs. I don't like all the jagged edges, though. It's always been very hard, even though like this one, I did keep it in good condition. It was always hard to kind of keep these nice and clean because of all these extra edges, all, you know, these corners to hit, to bang, to get bent. But I did like the packaging. All right, let's open this guy up. Yeah, I do like these too. I wish they still did stuff like this. I love this kind of stuff as a kid when they give you these. And I would check them, circle them. Oh, there's my Y-Wing. It's in my son's room right now, the Y-Wing. I do have most of these guys. There's some of your Clone Wars guys, Ian, in the middle there. More vehicles. Turbo Tank. Bark Speeder. Yeah, really good stuff. I like this guy too. I have him somewhere. I need to pull him out so I can open him. The Separatist General. Warm Loathsome. Room Slag. Yeah, there's some good figures in here. Yeah, I like these. I have a lot of them now. Clone part out or the Build-A-Droid part. Probably give these to my Jawas. They'll know what to do with it. I love those inserts. I used to get them with all toys. I know, huh? I know. I don't know why they don't do that now. I don't know if it's because it's paper. They're trying to cut back on packaging kind of stuff, or if it's just, I don't know. I don't know why. Because, yeah, I love that stuff. All right, there is also, this is for the Eopie. Yeah. This was the mail away for the Qui-Gon Jinn and Eopie. I have like 3 of them. Did you guys do this? Did you participate? Because it was, what was it here? You had to do 5 UPC codes. I don't remember if it cost anything. And it was $8.99. Or wait, check our money. It was $6.99 US or $8.99 Canada, plus 5 UPCs to get that Eopie, which I think is a good deal now. Sadly, I wasn't collecting during this period. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was very old school. You know, you had to literally cut out the barcode. But $6.99, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. It does have the old rubber bands on there. Never liked those. Yeah. Yeah, you know, just like the TIE Fighter, you know, he does the job. He's going to sit in the AT-AT. He's going to look good sitting in the AT-AT. But I would love to get, you know, some new hips, a rocker ankle on him. And get the rubber band off the gun as well. He's going to do the job. Let's see who's under this mask. Is another clone probably, right? That's my guess. Haven't lifted off in a while. It is. Yeah, it's a clone, but he's got some long sideburns. And not quite the same as the TIE Fighter. It's a little different. But again, I think that's the clone. Yeah, I like this helmet. It's so close to me, to what I think it in my mind what it looks like, without pulling up a photo and looking at it, a movie still. That looks pretty good. I guess it's not 100% screen accurate, but it's good enough for the girls I know. So where does it go, though? Let's see. Let's pull this out. Pull this out. This is actually probably my favorite vehicle. If he's Star Wars era, he wouldn't be a clone. We were just talking about that. Yeah, it's weird, huh? It's got to be Empire, right? that's where these guys were featured, was Empire. So yeah, I don't know. Ian, chime in. I don't know. But this is probably my favorite vehicle all time. All the stuff I have. I like the Razor Crest too, but this is probably my favorite of all my vehicles. I like it more than the Ghost. This thing is so fun, so cool. The other one I have over there is actually full of stormtroopers, and it's the one already filled out. Like it's got the pilot, the co-pilot, the two deck officers, and a squad of stormtroopers in it. Red Canada, friend, how are you? Clones were pre-Star Wars. Yes, they were. Chat, just dropping by to say hi. What's up? Yes, all is well. Yeah, trying something new, trying a different day and a different time to just kind of hang out and open up stuff. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I miss you, man. Yeah, so this show I'm trying to do every other Saturday, offset from the other every other Sunday. I do the other one, the other show. So you're welcome anytime, Red Canada. Anytime. Yeah, let's see what's in here. There might be somebody in here. No, there's nobody in there. Oh, okay. We've got the ISB. I guess they're in there. She's got a little Death Trooper protection. And then here's the other one. This was the one that was already in there. And it should be. It's the exact same one. So now we've got a pilot, a co-pilot. I'll have to dig through that bin to find the two deck officers. And then we'll put them out. Maybe that will be the next Saturday show. In canon, clones were initially... Great collection you have. Thank you, Red. Thank you. In canon, clones were initially used before being phased out, so they would have been pilots, but by the time of the OT trilogy, they would be long gone. Yeah. It's funny that they chose to use the clone head because they have other just normal humans that they could have just put anybody in. You know, maybe this head was just cheaper. The AT is so cool. We need a bigger HasLab AT. That would have probably got me. Oh, my dog. My dog keep walking in. All right, let's put these guys in here. Boom. There we go. All set. We'll open those stormtroopers and we'll put them in there too. Begin to build this out. Not sure how many troopers I put in the other one. In that book, it said something. I can't remember. It was like 7 stormtroopers and 1 commander was like a squad, or I'm probably wrong on that, but there's something. There's a number. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to go down there and count them all. Hope you're well, brother. Yeah, I am. All right, Ryan. This is the Legacy collection. This was the Legacy, the white and blue box. I have like a blue Star Wars cross it. I have 2 of them. I bought them both secondhand. One was complete. The other one I actually bought locally. So I drove up. This guy lived in El Dorado Hills, and I met him. He was in a like a cul-de-sac in the mountains where they have their mailbox like down at the bottom of the mountain of the hill. And he's like, meet me at that mailbox. And I met him down there. I remember he said that his son got a scholarship to play baseball in college, and so he was selling all of his stuff, like his old childhood toys, like to pay for school or something, for books. And he sold me one. But it was missing the ladder. It was missing some of the struts. It was missing these struts right here. um, and the ladder. So I had to eBay 4 struts and a ladder, and then it was complete. So it wasn't missing much. And um, when I got it off him, I said, "Hey, I'm a big time collector. If you have anything else, you have my number now. Let me know." And he just looked at me and smiled. Ha, okay. And he left and never heard from him again. So I don't know what else he had, but he didn't want to offer it to me. Um, but I remember he wanted to meet like on a Tuesday. I found him like on Craigslist or something like that. If you guys know what Craigslist is, I used to search Craigslist for Star Wars stuff and GI Joe, and he wanted to meet at like Tuesday afternoon, like 2 in the afternoon or 1 in the afternoon. So I actually went to my boss and said, "Can I take a long lunch today? Because it's like 45-minute drive one way and 45 minutes back." So I took my lunch break and drove up there, met him at that mailbox, got it, drove back down, ended up having to stay like an extra 30 minutes after work. I'm usually off at 5. I had to stay till 5 to make up the time. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I love this thing. And now I have two, so I have two, and my favorite vehicle has the speeder in the back. Speeder in the back. It's not a little soft plastic. It's not as good as the new vintage collection one. Obviously this is older, but it's still pretty good. It fits right in. It has like a sliding pad in the back that ejects. So you kind of set it in there. It has a button here, and you see how that popped out. So it's pretty cool. And there's pegs, so you can have guys standing on the back there. Figures can stand around it. Opens on both sides. Opens on the bottom, and it has the good old fashioned the rope. You push the button and the rope comes down with the hook. That's great, man. I love the AT. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's my favorite. And then it also has the ropes that come down the side. So the bottom opens. I mean, the thing opens, the only place it doesn't open is on the top. And it does have lights and sounds. But I don't have batteries in it. I don't use it enough. I'm always afraid the batteries will corrode and mess it up. So it is no batteries. But it does have plenty of lights and sounds. It has chin guns, which mine aren't on right now. I must have taken them off, probably because I didn't want them to break. But they do light up. When you push the button, they'll move and they light up. This thing's got everything: size, presence, everything. So yeah, this is probably my favorite one. If this would have been the HasLab, I probably would have got a couple. Yeah, I would have broke down. That's like HasLab before HasLab, yeah. And it was probably because I got mine used, and years later, I think I paid $60-$70, I think, for this one. And the other one was a little more because I got it on eBay and it was mailed to me. So the shipping and the packaging, it was probably like $100. But I think brand new at the time, I think it was like $150. It's probably somewhere on Jedi Business or Galactic News. That guy, I think he lists what it was at retail at the time, but I think it was like $150 at the time. Is that the Ghost? Yeah, that's the Ghost back there. It's nice. It's big. That's the only place it fits for me. I'd like to move it out, but I have and like rotate, but that's the only like table I have big enough to hold it. And it's fairly heavy, so I don't think I can hang it. And if I hung it, I couldn't open it. So yeah, it's kind of stuck where it is, but it's nice. I do like it. It's the team's in there right now. The team plus Cal Kestis. He's on the Top Gun there. $60 a steal, yeah. But this would have been probably like 2016. No. See, my son was born in 10. Yeah, it might have been like 2017, 16 or 17, which, I'm dating myself, but that was a good long time ago. Um, yeah, it is, So I got that table. It's actually like a mid-century modern. It was in the lobby of an architecture firm, as they put magazines on it and a little plant, and they had it for like 40 years, and they were doing a remodel, and they're like, look around, is there anything you want? I said you could have it for free. It's got that for free. Solid black, completely flat. I think it's like 3 feet diameter, 3 feet across. It's got a little chip on the side. It's like Herman Miller. It's like an expensive coffee table, I guess. But yeah, it's perfect. My wife wanted it for the front room, and I was like, I think I have to take that. But yeah, I got that right out of a architectural office. They also had some really fancy like chairs. I forget his name now. Mies Vanderohe. If you know architecture, you know who that is. They had these really fancy chairs. They're like $1,000 each. I couldn't take them. I couldn't do it. I recently added the landing platform for Neon Giant. All right. Cool. Love to see it. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, you have one of the best setups. Put that back. Put that back in there. Just lock them in. Close them, close them, close them. There we go. All done. There is some weathering on this guy. Not a lot. Probably not up to today's standards, but they still did do some weathering. You can kind of see on some of the panels, even on the legs. It's kind of the weathering that they used to do, like dripping, oil from the joints. Yeah, I probably could use more, but I like it. To me, it's perfect how it is. It is pretty heavy. Legs articulate, ratchet joints. The knee. If there's anything at the ankle. But it's big as my dog, Yeah, it's got this handle up here. You can pop it up. I don't know if you can see that. And you can move. You can move the head up and down. That just locks in. So it's got a lot of play features. They don't get in the way. I usually don't like play features, but they sort of enhance, this vehicle. Considering the Ghost and the Razor Crest really don't have any play features, but they're great. But this is a good one. It's a good one, and like I said, I think my favorite all time. Well worth what you paid. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I can't remember how much those struts and the ladder cost. They were probably like $20 a piece, so I probably spent another 40 to get. But I wanted it complete. You know what I mean? Just like I wanted with the pilots, I wanted to have it the way I wanted to have it. And we all kind of have our, I wanted to have the Legacy Collection guys because of the elbows. I didn't want one with struts and one without. And the ladder, you really do need the ladder to set up. I don't know if I could show it. Let me see. Let's see if I can show you. So, right there. This is the ladder. And it does go down because it opens here on the bottom, if I could do it from with one hand. Let's see. I don't think I could do it with one hand. There it is. So it does open on the bottom, and then it has a hook. Good old fashioned, hook, just like it should, and then there's a button here. A little loud, but then it just comes right up. It also has these ones on the side, so you can kind of have guys rappel down the side. These are just on a wind up though. You just turn the thing and it gets longer, and then when you want to bring it up, you just go the other way. So this thing's got everything. These, they lock. You just turn that and they lock nicely in there. Go backwards like that. And this thing's full of pegs to stand up, guys. Probably should show you the other one, because the other one's full of figures. Let's see if I can do it. Whoa. This is how it can look, if you have all the guys that you need. A couple deck officers. There's a squad. Looks like somebody fell over. You can see how they can just stand there. Cockpit here. Oh, he's in there. I forgot he was in there. General Veers. This is a vintage collection, General Veers. Again, I replaced all my Power of the Force ones. Or I guess this is AT-AT Commander, right? He's not Veers, but he's Veers. Removable helmet and glasses. I've got another one of these too, with those other pilots, the co-pilots. I need to pull them out. This guy can use an update as well. He has the lower body, again, needs to be fixed. Armor is removable as well on this guy. I don't know why I didn't pick it up when it was released. Yeah, I couldn't afford it when it was released. Yeah. May need to get one someday. Yeah. Yeah, amazing vehicle. Hopefully they redo it. Though, would I replace them? I don't know if I would. I have the old Power of the Force 2 one as well. But I gave it to my son, and he was real little, and he broke it. He broke apart on, but I didn't care because I had these. But it's so small compared to this, and it doesn't match up. But I don't know, because like everything, like that gunship, for them to redo this the HasLab way, it'd be $500 probably. I just don't know. I don't know if I could do that again. Probably would though. I probably would. But this is my favorite vehicle. Yeah, I got General Veers in there, or AT-AT Commander. This is the vintage collection version. Workable holster. Good figure. Of his time though, he needs the hips, he needs the rocker ankle. All right. If it's meant this early release is cheaper, I am all for a new AT-AT HasLab. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. Oh, my ST, you saw it fell down right there. I've had when you get those to stand, you don't ever want to touch them. I have one up here that I got to stand. I'm like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't bump it. Don't move it. These guys, no problem. 4 legs, heavy, solid, big paws. All right, let's get this guy open. I can't remember how many of the new vintage Storm, this guy, the snow ones I got. but I got a lot of them. I don't have a commander. So this is the commander. This is going to lead the squad until the new ones show up, that 3-pack from Hasbro Pulse. I did get a couple of them. He does have the good rifle. They don't do this rifle anymore. This is the one with the stock that goes back. I think you saw that, right? My hands are kind of big. They don't do this one anymore. Actually has articulating stock. Oh, and the back comes up too. Yeah, they never use that anymore. Are those your station in the corner? Yeah, that's Folsom 11 now. Yeah. I took down the second street that I have, which a lot of these were on the street, and I made an Imperial base for now. Been kind of changing it out because I have so much stuff, and I don't have a lot of room, but I have a lot of stuff. So, um, yeah, it's too bad I can't take that camera and show you right now. But yeah, so on the bottom right now is Empire, like a military base. On the top is this one of the Folsom 11 streets. I got my Grime City Jail up there, some street lights. There's actually about to be a big brouhaha up here. I got two opposing forces, kind of like a gang war about to happen. Probably as the nasty plastic they use for weapons these days is too flexible with folding stock gimmick. Yeah, they just don't do that anymore. I can't remember the last time I saw that. Got a workable holster, it looks like. It's barely open. Oh, and his arm popped right off. Oh, it was his glove. Look at how small that is. I don't think the gun is even going to fit in there. Oh, it did. Yeah, it did. Just the barrel of it. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw a folding stock blaster. It's been a long time. It does have a trigger finger. See if I can get it through the... No, I couldn't get it through. It looks good though. Helmet doesn't come off, so no clone under this one. Yeah, he's definitely of his time. He's got the swivel hips. Does have this softer rubber comma. I guess he could sit down. Yeah. Might hinder a little bit. I like the multi-part rifle that came with the Black Series Cassian. Yeah, that's a cool gun. Yeah, that is a cool one. The sniper rifle, right? Yeah. It's cool too because it doesn't in Rogue One he builds that gun in the ship before he goes to shoot. Yeah, they don't do that. That's one of the only times I've seen, and he did it in the Andor, right? Season 2 and Gorman. He did the same thing, right? Yeah, that's a cool gun. A cool blaster. All right, so this guy's cool. No weathering. No weathering or anything on him. Completely pitch white. Some paint apps though on the armor. Some blue, some red, some yellow on the back there, orange. TV. Oh yeah, you're right. Crosshair did. Right. I still haven't opened my Crosshair yet. I want to do a video on him. So I wanted to open him on camera and do a video. I need to pull my Hunter out. I put my Hunter in a box and it's in the garage. I need to dig it out. I want to have them side by side when I do that video. I've got a lot of projects I'm trying to do right now, guys. I've been working on my garage, star casing figures, mint on card stuff. I'm retubbing, and I have been purging and selling some of the older stuff, and I'm trying to do it all kind of at once while still maintaining the channel and making normal videos like I made of the acid rain guy that I just did. I want 2 of the crosshair figures so I can have one in Clone Force 99 gear and one in civilian disguise, same as I did with Hunter. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I need to open that up. It looks great. It looks great. I've tried not to watch any videos on it yet, so I'm not kind of like know everything already. Kind of want fresh eyes on it without being influenced from someone else's review. But it looks great. It looks great in package. I love the card. Love the card art. I hope we get the rest of the team here. I hope they announce them soon. I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe we'll pull up another screen here. Hey Tony, you think they will ever remake a Dash render? I know I hope so. That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. I do have the Outrider. I have the old Dash render and his ship. I wish they would, Yeah. I wish we just got the same figures as Black Series most of the time. I hope they do, man. I think that figure would do really well. Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought, I think it's season 1 of Mando where Mix Mayfield has that same kind of over-the-shoulder blaster. I remember seeing that thinking, maybe that means we'll get a Dash Rendar because they're going to do, but they never did that Mix Mayfield either for us. But yeah, I wish they would. I love the EU, man. That EU was all the Star Wars I had, for a long time. And all those characters. That's why the comic 2-packs were like so important to me to get them all and to find them, because they were doing all the figures from the comics and the Thrawn trilogy and all the Timothy Zahn stuff and more so. I wish they would get back to it, man. I wish they would. I'm not sure why, the Black Series, they get to dabble a little bit more in the EU than we do. But we did just get was it a 3 or 4-pack? Thrawn and Joris. But just like the Bad Batch guy, so slow to roll out. So slow. Years in between. Years. Too long to wait. Too long to wait, I think. But I would love Dash Rendar. Yeah, I would love him. I think I have a complete set of the Shadows of the Empire. I guess they're like they're Shadows of the Empire, but like Power of the Force. Actually, I have 2 Outriders. Yeah, I wish they would get back to that, man. I really do. I don't know if they ever will, though. If they want to make money, they will. Oh, you pre-ordered the Black Series one? Outrider's a good-looking ship. Yes, it is. It's one of your favorite ships. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, they were, it was for a while. They were pretty easy to find on eBay and stuff. And I think, I would buy figure and vehicle lots. And that was how I got my loose ones. I have 2 loose ones. I have 1 still in the box. The purple box. But they were pretty easy to come by for a while. And it holds up, I think it's undersized, but you could fit a figure, a vintage collection figure fits better in there than the actual Dash render did, being 5 POA. But it's a cool little ship. One of the comic figure 2-packs is on my hit list, but chances are it will remain there, as I think it's one of the most. Which one is that, Ian? Which one is that? Because I have most of them. Yeah, you'll get a kick out of my, you said you haven't seen my tub dive yet. That tub was full of comic two packs. I'm wondering if one of the ones you're thinking of was one of them, because I that tub had maybe 6 or 7 comic two packs, but I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them. Montrose and Miro. Okay, yeah, I do have that one. It's not in that video though, spoiler, but I do have that one. Um, Entertainment Earth exclusive. I'm pretty sure that one was. I think that's the first thing I ever bought from Entertainment Earth. I was lucky and was able to acquire Chris from Empire Trucks Modified version. Oh, you got that one, Red? Oh, wow. You need Dash Render to go in there. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's cool. I've saw that every now and then Empire will sell one of his actual ships. Because I've not seen him make a ship to sell that I know of, but I've seen him like sell a ship that he's had for several years. I could be wrong about that. I don't know, but that's really cool. That's a work of art, one of a kind. That's cool, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the one. I think I might have seen it in one of your pictures. Oh, you got it from Texas Customs. Yeah, he does really awesome stuff too. Yeah. He was on Brian and Bob's show not too long ago, right before Joe Fest. He does really good Eagle Force stuff too. Yeah, someday I'll get something from him. I collect 375 Mandos. I think they are the most expensive of any. Oh, really? Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. I only have the one, so I've never opened it. That comic two pack that you're talking about. I only have one, because that was at one of those times in my life when I just couldn't afford to get a double to open. And my rule was if I only have one, then I won't open it. So I was always trying to get two. And there was a couple other comic two packs like that one that were Entertainment Earth only. There was a girl in like a red suit, an Empire red suit, I think, with the stripe. I don't know that. There was like 3 packs, and I got them all, but I only got one each, so I never opened them. And then by the time I think I had a little bit more money to go back and get a second one, they were gone. They were sold out. And that's the breaks with collecting, right? When when times are good, they're good, and when they're not, they're not. And I was lucky I was able to even get one. Taking over 200 pounds. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of money. Yeah. That got me back to buying TVC. And oh, it did? That one? That set? Yeah, that's a good set. Yeah. So that's one of the things I think that really pulled me in was I had read all those comic packs, almost all of them. I had read the books, because that's all the Star Wars we had for a long time. And the expanded universe Power of the Force 2 stuff is what got me collecting as an adult. I was 18. I was 19. I just got out of high school. But it was Mara Jade and the clone Emperor, that set. And then I saw they have Shadows of the Empire. And, that was what really got me into collecting again. I always think it's kind of weird. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't collecting. I was just playing with toys and I just wanted them all. But once I was, old enough, I was collecting. I'm still playing with them now, but as an adult collector, I guess it was the EU stuff, the video game stuff. Because I have all the trade paperbacks of the Shadows of the Empire, Shadows of the Empire 2. I have most of all of Timothy Zahn's stuff and more. But I remember it did get to a point where I had read probably like 8 of the Star Wars books, but they just kept coming out, and then I think now there's 30 or 40 just in this, and they broke them up between the Yuuzhan Vong and all the other things. And so I I didn't finish all of them, but the first probably 7 or 8 that came out, I did read. Um, the N64 Shadows of the Empire got me. Love that game. Yeah, my brother had a 64. I didn't. Um, so I didn't get to play it all the time, but yeah, he had that one. It was fun, and the X-wing, right? Rogue Squadron, or uh, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, those were good. Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, I always wanted to play that game. I never got to play that game. I'd always see it, hear about it. I never got to play that game. Legendary game. Yeah, I never got it. I never got to play that one. Yeah, the SNES. Yeah, those games were good, man. And I had like the very first like PlayStation that had when the Phantom Menace had a game. It was like Jedi. And you could be Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon. I had that game. I had the Boba Fett on the GameCube. I had that one. That was a lot of fun. Oh, Jango Fett on the GameCube. Um, yeah, Star Wars games were a lot of fun, man. They were a lot of fun. I did have two. I don't think I have it now. My brother told me I had to get it. It was on the last, not the new PlayStation 5, but it was on like the 3 and the 4. Where you could be a stormtrooper, you could be a rebel trooper. I forgot what it's called now. Battlefront. I'm probably wrong. But he got it and was like, dude, you got to get this. So I ended up getting it. Didn't play it a lot though. I don't play games too often. I have a PS5 now and a Switch. I don't play it too much. I don't have that many games, but I don't play it too often. I'm not a big gamer. I like games, but I get frustrated really easy because I'm not good at them. Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront. That's what it is. By EA. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, this one's a lot of fun. You could be on Hoth and stuff and run through the snow. Yeah, that was a good one. I have watched, and I have the art of books for the Cal Kestis ones, the newest kind of Star Wars games. And I've watched a lot of the stories on YouTube, like when people just do the cutscenes, and I watched them as like a movie. But I haven't played the game. If I had $200, 200 pounds to spend on Star Wars, I'd probably have to go for the Mandalorian Assault Transport from Clone Wars line. It's my new grail item since I discovered it exists all of a week ago. Mandalorian Assault Transport. I don't know that one. Is this a good time for us to open up another window? Let me see. How do I do that? Put that one over here. And then, because I don't use this interface now, I forgot how to use it. Let's see, share the screen. Does it allow me to pick what screen? It does. So I'll pick that one. Okay, let's see. What is the Mandalorian Assault Transport? Let's try that. The Commort class fighter transport. The Gauntlet. Which one is that? Oh, that one. Yeah, with the folding wings. Yeah. I'll admit, it's one I missed out on. This is one I missed out on. I do not have this one. And you're right, it's really expensive because I did a few years ago go back and look, and you're right, this one's super expensive. But it's a great looking ship, and the wings, remember, they do fold up and down. Yeah, that is an awesome ship, man. That is an awesome ship. Yeah, I can't help you with that one. I don't have that one either. Oh, my screen's a little messed up now. Let me hold on one sec. It's like stretched. Oh man, I can't see the chat because of the size of the screen. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay. That one is great. Yeah. Salt transport. Yeah, I don't have that one. You have that one, Kaneda? I don't have that one. Yeah. I was really reluctant because the Legacy collection and the Clone Wars line were going at the same time. I couldn't afford everything. So I went with the Legacy collection stuff because it was realistic and the proportions on the clone figures, um, they're thin. Um, so that also meant vehicles, I kind of stayed away from them. Eventually I gave in though, and I started buying them too. But that was one I missed out on. Rocket Will, how are you? Rocket Will, welcome to the party. Hopefully it's a better time for you. I know you're back east or northeast. Um, yeah, I bet, Ian, I bet you'll get it someday. I bet you'll get it someday. Maybe they'll make a new one too, make it more readily available. You won't have to pay the that scalper price. I'd love to get one too, but I don't think that's in the cards for me right now. I do have the speeder bike. Yeah, that's another one I missed out on. I remember I didn't have the money because there was one, right? It came with like two Mandos. They put it out a couple different ways, and I missed out on that one too. Yeah, that one is great as well. Yeah, it's a really cool design too. Um, yeah, I don't have that one as well either. I'm missing a lot of Clone Wars stuff. I do have a couple turbo tanks, too, and I have the Walker tank. I always forget the name of that one. I have one of those. Um, and when I would buy figure lots off of eBay, there'd always be full of they'd be mixed up, right? Legacy collection and Clone Wars figures just all mixed up. I think actually this Millennium Falcon, because my son was playing with it, I think it's full of Clone Wars guys. Let me see. Let me see. See if I can. Whoa. Whoa. Let me see here. I haven't opened this in quite a while. He was playing with it. I forgot how to open it. Right here. Well, isn't that something? The gun. Took the battery. Oh wait. Okay, so I must have taken the batteries out of it too. I think there's a Clone Commander Gree in here. Man, I forgot how to open this. I don't want to break it. I see the lines right here. Why? What am I doing wrong? There we go. Holy smokes. Whenever the camera's on, man, I forget. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a little squad of clones in here. And these were my sons. I would give him the clone guys, and I would keep the vintage and the legacy collection stuff. Okay, I see what I did here. They're all the green ones. I think these are really expensive now. Oh, let's just set that down. I get a kick out of this, Ian. Maybe Gree's not in here, but these guys. Oh, is this Gree? Maybe this is Gree. No. Yeah, maybe that's Gree. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. So I think they're the green ones that we got, and I threw them in there. But these are all Clone Wars figures. They don't have their blasters. He might have lost them, but I'm sure I have more. But I don't think the helmets. Oh, except for the. Is it? I think this is Gree, right? Is that Gree? Because he's got the hairdo. Got the double mohawk. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost track of you guys in here. The line 5 looks good. Awesome. Yeah, this is a Legacy Collection one. It's good. I sadly ignores any Star Wars. It wasn't a film for ages, so I got into Star Wars animation only in the last 5 years or so. Now Clone Wars and Clone Wars are my favorite. Okay. Comically, I also somehow managed to watch Rebels before Clone Wars. Oh, did you? Clone Wars is the best stories out there, and the toys are amazing as well. Yeah. Yeah, I love the Clone Wars, the cartoon. Yep, that's him. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And he has his blaster. Somehow he has his blaster and everyone else is missing theirs. And I guess they are different greens, so they're probably not the same. These guys are the same. Oh, it looks like there's two. Okay, so there's this, there's green and this green, and then there's these guys, which is like its own thing. Yeah, I knew those were in there. They've been in there for years. Domino Squad. Can't wait for the mall show. Yeah, I saw that. I'm starting to get kind of excited about that Starfighter one with Gosling. I think they announced something about that today too. It's been a while since we've got a movie. Like we need a Star Wars is, I love the shows. I love how long the shows are. But Star Wars is a movie franchise. We need some movies. So I'm kind of getting excited about that Starfighter one. I'm hoping it's good. Um, but yeah, I saw a little thing about the mall one. Those are awesome set of love clones. Yeah. Yeah, it used to bother me. It's why I stayed away from. I didn't like the proportions of the skinny body. But then it kind of grew on me and now I don't even care. But at the time it was probably more to I just couldn't afford to buy it all. So I was like, well, I don't like how those look anyway, so I'm only going to get the Legacy Collection ones. And I really only have these because I would buy the collections off of eBay, and um, they would just be mixed in there. There'd be a 1980s Stormtrooper in there next to a Clone Wars figure with a Legacy Collection figure, and or a vintage collection figure, because I was just buying. People were just selling all of their stuff, uh, and that's really how I ended up with most of these figures. And then I would give them all to my son, the Clone Wars ones. Rocket, yep, set right up at that. Clone Wars, looking forward to it. Awesome set. One of those quirks for me was I met Old Man Rex before ever seeing an episode. Oh, really? Yeah. Likewise, old Ahsoka. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you know, I just because it's one. I told you guys I don't really watch a lot of stuff. It bugs my wife, but I don't really watch. I don't get out of my genre. So whenever there's new Star Wars, I'll watch that. And like I haven't turned on my TV in months. So just don't watch other stuff. So if there's ever any new Star Wars or Marvel or something, I'll watch that. But if I don't really go out. So I'm really far between like watching things. But I watched all the Star Wars. Um, I love the hand-drawn Clone Wars animated as well. Yeah, the micro series. Yeah, and those figures are really, again, I was more after like those figures than I was like original trilogy type stuff, because I love those cartoons. Um, I love that Ventress. The Anakin is really awesome too. The one with the blue, the tattoos, like, or the blue things. That one's a cool one. I'd love to see them go back and do some of that stuff in Vintage Collection with the new articulation as well. But that's also like EU now, right? It's not canon. But they did Dash Render right in Black Series, like you said. So why can't we get, why can't we get some of the Micro Series stuff? Old 80s and 90s anime. Yeah. Yeah, my wife loves anime. She's been, yeah, she just watched something on Netflix. Some vampire anime thing. She said it was really good, though. Vampire High School, some kind of, I don't know. It was on, so it was like I could hear it and kind of keep up with it, but I don't watch that kind of stuff. Yeah, I haven't opened that Millennium Falcon in a while. Yeah. It's a great vehicle. It's big. It's nice that you can prop it up. I have heard people say that the guitar stand also works for the Ghost. So that might be a way to get it off that table. Because I've been really wanting to bring in my Robo Skulls. I got both of the versions of the Robo Skull, but I haven't been able to bring them out yet because I just don't have the room. I might try that. Maybe I'll try to put the Ghost on that guitar stand. If it works, then I'll just buy a second guitar stand and put the Falcon on it. And then I'll put my Robo Skull right there. The staircase that I got right there, it's actually two pieces. I got that from Grime City. Because it's two pieces, you can kind of like put it three different ways. It's pretty cool. If it didn't have all that stuff on it, I'd bring it down and show you guys closer on the camera. My favorite Disney Plus era series, Bad Batch by Clone Wars Season 7. I say that I'm liking all the Disney Plus shows. Yeah, I pretty much liked them all. I thought Obi-Wan wasn't in the Acolyte. But for the most part, I really like Book of Boba Fett. I know a lot of people didn't like Book of Boba Fett. I really like Book of Boba Fett, though. Mando season 1 and 2, I think, are just near perfect. Season 3, a little shaky. I really liked Ahsoka as well. I thought Ahsoka was really good. Yeah, it's tough, right? And everyone likes different things, but I was pretty disappointed in Obi-Wan. Grime City, I know he's been really quiet lately, but so has Empire. Empire hasn't been doing it, and I don't need anything. But I do keep an eye on their pages and stuff. But they've been pretty quiet lately, both of them. Yeah, Grimey stopped in on a couple of the live streams before. I haven't seen him for a few months, but I think he's just busy. Like everyone, we get busy. But I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm sure he's doing well. And Empire, Empire posts. He still posts quite a bit on Instagram, but he just hasn't made anything for sale. I've noticed lately. Again, he's probably just busy. Probably taking some kind of a break. Yeah. Let's see. I got a couple more things here. Let's see. Let's open this. I opened a lot of Star Wars. Let me open this. I'm not sure how long I've been on, an hour and a half. So let's open this, and then if something else comes up, we'll keep going. If not, call it a day. I mentioned earlier, I do have another video, tub dive video from a Mint on Card collection. I've already filmed it. I improved the sound. If you watch the first one, the sound got kind of bad at the end. I'm probably going to drop that tomorrow or Monday. Just keep an eye out for that. I think you're going to enjoy it. A lot of good stuff in there. It's really fun to open up the stuff that I haven't looked at in so long. And I know I always say I have an awesome collection, but even I forget sometimes. That guy comes out, looks like just a monster. and with a clear stand. This one, all claws and teeth, no weapons, no accessories. Probably why it was only $17. But because I have several of these guys. Oh, he has his tongue. His tongue is a separate piece. This is a perfect pick for me. Got that Joy Toy smell. I love it. Star Wars is plus shows. Oops, need clarification. Say that like in all of the Dark Crime City. Skybottom did a video not too long ago back about his Empire Tours collection. Oh, he did. Yeah, I haven't seen Skybottom much either lately. He things happen. He got busy. I haven't seen too many of his pictures or anything. I do try to like his stuff when I see it. I'm not on Instagram as much as I used to be. I'm mostly here now. I'm mostly doing YouTube, and I don't have that much time. So what little social media time I have, I've been mostly spending here on YouTube now, doing videos or trying to do these live streams and just kind of like hang out more. I really need to start taking more photos. Yeah, so this guy is awesome. Super articulated, jaw opens, close. These tongues are not the easiest to put in. You kind of have to figure out how they go. Is it up here? Not sure where the... Oh, I dropped it. Every live stream, I drop at least one accessory. Have you guys noticed? It's because of these big mitts. And I don't know where it went. I'm not going to find it now. Well, that's too bad. But he still looks great. It's got the wire tail that you can bend. These guys have a really nice like shade of like purple on them. And they're just the right size, they're perfect 118 monsters. They're not too big, but they're definitely bigger. They almost have like horse or like cow hoofs for feet. Very cool. And I can't show you, but right up here at the top of this cabinet is where I have this army on display. I have 5. I guess now I have 6. So I only have 6 of these guys, but that's enough. If like I said, if I find them on sale, like I found this one, then I'll continue to get them. But these guys and the Tau Empire are really the only 40K stuff that I collect. They haven't done any Tau Empire stuff for quite a while. But I think 40K is probably the most, besides Vintage Collection, popular 118 375 line, but it's not. I just don't collect it. I do watch Skellywags TV though, and he does a lot of 40K videos. So that's kind of how I know about it and keep up with it. Yeah, that's a really cool monster. Very cool. Yeah, that was a good deal. I should have got 2, but got 1. I've been looking to try to see if they come back down, and they haven't really for about a month now come back down in price. So I don't need it. So I'm just kind of, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But very cool. Very cool. It's got 4 arms. All right. Very cool. All right, so we got a lot of stuff out. I didn't open everything, but we've been going about an hour and a half, so I probably should call it a day. Going to have to catch rest. No problem. No problem, Ian. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you guys that came by and stopped by and participated. Even if you didn't participate, thank you for watching. I'm going to try to do these every other Saturday because I do my Toy Talk news every other Sunday. So they kind of offset. So we come on every weekend now. We're going to try to. Um, we'll see. We'll see. But thank you for stopping by, guys. Appreciate all the comments. And if you're out there and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I do appreciate it. It's good talking to you, Red, Mudhorn, Rocket Will, Luis. I don't know where you went, Luis, but thanks for stopping by. I hope I'm not forgetting someone. Tech was here. A couple of you guys are here. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you now. I don't mean to. I'm flipping through it really quick here. Ian, Tech, Luis, Red, Rocket. I think that's everybody. Thank you so much, guys. If you ever want to talk, message me on Instagram or drop a comment on this video or any of the videos. I will try to respond to all of them. See you guys later. Bye now.